Your grip is the problem. Before we begin this journey, I want you to do something very simple but very powerful. Stop everything you are doing right now. Put down your phone if you can, or just rest it in your lap. Unclench your jaw and let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. We often spend our entire lives running toward a destination that does not exist. We are constantly moving and constantly planning and constantly fearing what might happen tomorrow. But in this very moment, there is no tomorrow and there is no yesterday. There's only the sound of my voice and the sensation of your own existence. If you are hearing these words right now, please understand that it is not by chance. In the ancient wisdom of Buddhism, we believe that every meeting is a manifestation of your readiness. You have reached a point where your soul is tired of carrying the weight of the world. You are tired of the endless noise and the constant pressure to control things you cannot control. This message has found you because you are finally ready to hear the truth. The truth is that your worry has never solved a single problem in your life. Your anxiety has never prevented a disaster, and your stress has never made you more successful. All these things have done is cloud your vision and steal your peace. So let us begin by clearing the air. Take a very deep breath in through your nose right now. Feel the cool air filling your lungs and expanding your belly. Imagine this air as a pure white light entering your body. Hold that breath for a moment and feel the stillness in your chest. In that stillness, there is no worry and there is no fear. Now exhale very slowly through your mouth. And imagine you are releasing a heavy gray cloud. This cloud contains every deadline and every regret and every what. If scenario that keeps you awake at night, watch that cloud drift away until it disappears into nothingness. Do this again and feel your shoulders drop away from your ears. Buddhism teaches us that the mind is like a lake. When the surface is choppy and turbulent, you cannot see the beautiful pebbles at the bottom. Your worry is the wind that creates those waves. As long as you are worrying, the water will remain murky and you will remain lost. But the moment you choose to breathe and the moment you choose to be still, the waves begin to settle. The mud begins to sink to the bottom by its own weight. Suddenly, the water becomes crystal clear. You do not have to do anything to make the water clear, except stop stirring it. This is the power of the sacred pause. It is the realization that you are not your thoughts. You are the one who observes the thoughts. When a fearful thought arises, you can simply look at it and say, I see you, but you are not me. You are like a mountain watching the clouds pass by. The clouds may be dark, and they may bring thunder, but the mountain remains unmoved. The mountain does not try to catch the clouds or push them away. The mountain just stays where it is and trusts that the sky will clear. You are that mountain. Your true nature is solid and peaceful and vast. The only reason you feel small and weak is because you have forgotten your own depth. You have been so focused on the weather that you forgot you are the landscape. In this first stage of our journey, we are going to rediscover that inner landscape. We are going to dismantle the habit of constant mental chatter. We are going to learn that silence is not empty, but full of answers. As you continue to breathe, deeply notice how the space around you feels different. The room feels more spacious and your body feels lighter. This is the beginning of your liberation. You are stepping out of the prison of your own mind and into the freedom of the present moment. Stay here in this peace for a little longer. You do not need to rush to the next step because there is nowhere else you need to be. Everything you have been searching for is already right here, waiting for you to notice it. Let the music settle into your bones and let your heart open up like a flower. You are safe and you are supported, and you are exactly where you are supposed to be. The universe is not against you, it is for you. But you must stop fighting the flow before you can feel its power. Let go of the oars and let the river of life carry you. It knows the way even if you do not. Now that your mind is becoming still, we can explore the great mystery of the paradox. Now we must talk about a secret that many people find very difficult to accept. This is the great paradox of human existence and the core of Buddhist wisdom. The secret is this: when you stop chasing the things you want, they finally have the chance to find you. Most of us have been taught since childhood that life is a race. We are told that we must be aggressive and we must be hungry. and we must never stop pushing. We believe that if we do not constantly think about our goals, they will never come true. But I want you to look back at your own life with total honesty. Think about the times when you were most desperate for love or money or success. Think about the heavy energy of that desperation. When you are desperate, you are not in a state of attraction. You are in a state of resistance. In the language of the Buddha, we call this attachment or grasping. It is like trying to hold onto water by squeezing your hand into a tight fist. The more pressure you apply, the faster the water leaks out between your fingers. This is because the act of grasping is an act of fear. You are afraid that you are not enough as you are. You are afraid that the universe will not provide for you unless you force it to. This fear creates a wall of static energy around you. It blocks the natural flow of opportunities and synchronicities that want to enter your life. When you worry, you're sending a loud signal to the universe that says, I am lacking. The universe is a perfect mirror, and it can only reflect your own state of being back to you. If your internal state is one of lack, the universe will show you more reasons to feel that lack. It will give you more delays and more obstacles and more complications. This is why so many people work so hard but never seem to get anywhere. They are pushing against a door that opens inward. The harder they push, the tighter the door stays shut. The moment you stop pushing and take a step back, the door swings open by itself. This is not magic and it is not luck. It is the fundamental law of spiritual physics. Consider the beauty of a garden in the early morning. If you go out into the garden and try to catch a butterfly with your bare hands, you will fail. The butterfly can feel the vibration of your pursuit and the turbulence of your movement. It sees you as a predator and it will always fly away to a higher branch. You can run until you are exhausted, but you will never possess the butterfly this way. But imagine what happens if you simply sit down on a wooden bench in that garden. Imagine you close your eyes and focus on the warmth of the sun and the scent of the flowers. You become still and you become peaceful and you become part of the garden itself. Because you are no longer a threat, the butterfly no longer fears you. Eventually it may flutter down from the sky and land right on your shoulder. You did not catch the butterfly. You created the conditions where the butterfly felt safe enough to come to you. Your life works exactly the same way. Your dreams and your goals are like that butterfly. When you are frantic and worried, you are a predator of your own destiny. You are scaring away the very things you're trying to attract. But when you cultivate inner peace, and when you let go of the need for an immediate result, you become magnetic. You become a hospitable environment for miracles. This requires a deep and radical trust in the process of life. It requires you to believe that the universe knows more than you do. You have a limited perspective, and you can only see a small part of the path. The universe can see the whole map. It knows that sometimes a delay is actually a protection from a mistake you would have made. It knows that sometimes a closed door is leading you toward a much better house. When you worry, you are essentially saying that the universe is incompetent. You are saying that you must do everything yourself because there is no higher intelligence helping you. This is a very lonely and exhausting way to live. It is the path of the ego, and it always leads to burnout and disappointment. The Buddhist path is the path of the soul. The soul knows that it is already whole and complete. The soul does not need anything from the outside to be happy. When you align with your soul, you move from a state of needing to a state of preferring. You can say, I would prefer to have a successful career, but I am happy right now regardless. You can say, I would prefer to have a loving partner, but my life is full of love right now regardless. This shift in energy is the most powerful thing you can ever do. When you no longer need something, you finally become a match for it. Think about the people who are most attractive to you. They are usually the people who do not seem to be trying at all. They have a quiet confidence and a relaxed energy that draws everyone toward them. They are not chasing anything, so everything chases them. You can become that person today by making one simple decision. Decide that your peace of mind is more important than your goals. Decide that you will no longer sacrifice the present moment for an imaginary future. When you make this decision, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You become the master of your own vibration. You begin to notice small coincidences that you never saw before. A friend calls you with exactly the information you needed. An unexpected check arrives in the mail. A new idea flashes into your mind while you are taking a shower. These things were always trying to reach you, but your worry was like a thick wall of noise. Now that the noise has stopped, the signals can finally get through. This is the art of non-striving. It is not about being lazy, and it is not about giving up on your dreams. It is about doing the work with a light heart and then releasing the outcome. It is about planting the seed and then having the patience to let the earth do its work. You do not go out every hour and dig up the seed to see if it is growing. If you did that, the seed would die. Worry is like digging up the seed of your future every hour. Trust is leaving it in the dark soil and knowing that the sun and the water will bring it to life. The universe is the sun and the water. Your intention is the seed. Your peace is the soil. The day you stop worrying is the day your garden finally begins to bloom. You will look back and wonder why you ever fought so hard. You will see that life was always trying to give you its best. You just had to open your hands to receive it. Stay in this feeling of openness. Do not let your mind pull you back into the old patterns of stress. If the worry returns, just observe it like a passing car on a busy street. You do not have to jump into the car. You can just stand on the sidewalk and let it drive by. You are the observer, and you are the stillness, and you are the space. In this space, everything is falling into place right now. Even as you listen to these words, the universe is rearranging itself for your benefit. Believe this and feel the weight lifting off your chest. You are free to be happy right now. Imagine for a moment that you are a traveler on a very long and winding mountain path. You have been walking this path for many years, and you are feeling very tired. On your back, you are carrying a large and heavy rucksack that pulls at your shoulders. The straps are digging into your skin, and your breath is shorted, and your knees are aching. You have become so used to this weight that you think it is a natural part of your body. You believe that life is simply supposed to be this heavy and this difficult. But eventually you reach a beautiful clearing in the woods, and you decide to sit down. You unbuckle the straps, and you let the heavy bag slide off your shoulders and hit the ground. Suddenly you feel a lightness that you have not felt since you were a child. You feel as if you could almost float away into the sky. You open the bag to see what has been weighing you down for all these years. You expect to see the necessary tools for your survival or the basic needs of your life. But instead, you find that the bag is filled with heavy and jagged gray stones. You pick up the first stone, and you see a word written on it in dark ink. The word is tomorrow. This stone represents every minute you spent worrying about things that have not happened yet. It represents the imaginary arguments you had in your head and the disasters you predicted. You pick up another stone, and the word on it is yesterday. This stone is the weight of every regret and every mistake and every person who hurt you. You realize that these stones are not actually made of rock. They are made of your own thoughts. They are mental constructs that you chose to pick up and put in your bag one by one. The universe did not give you this bag. Other people did not force you to carry it. You were the one who believed that carrying these stones was a form of responsibility. You thought that if you stopped worrying about tomorrow, you would be unprepared. You thought that if you stopped grieving for yesterday, you would be cold. But now you see the truth. These stones did not help you climb the mountain. They only made the climb more painful and more slow. Buddhism teaches us that there is a difference between the pain of life and the suffering of the mind. The mountain path itself has rocks and steep climbs and cold winds. That is the natural pain of being human, and it cannot be avoided. But the heavy bag on your back is the suffering you create for yourself. You can walk the same mountain path with an empty bag and a light heart. The obstacles do not disappear, but your ability to handle them changes completely. When your back is straight and your vision is clear, you can find the easiest path through the rocks. You can see the beauty of the trees and the color of the sky instead of just looking at your feet. Think about the specific stones in your bag right now. Perhaps there is a heavy stone labeled career, or another labeled money, or another labeled loneliness. Look at these stones with total compassion and total honesty. Ask yourself if holding on to this worry has actually improved your bank account. Ask yourself if being anxious about your job has made you a more creative employee. The answer is always no. Worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it never gets you anywhere. It is an incredible waste of your vital life force. Every ounce of energy you spend on worry is energy you cannot spend on creation. So right now in your mind, I want you to start taking the stones out of the bag. Take the stone of what if and toss it into the bushes. Take the stone of I should have and drop it into the stream. Notice how your body reacts as the bag gets lighter. Your heart begins to beat with a steady and peaceful rhythm. The tension in your neck begins to dissolve like salt in water. You are rediscovering your true state, which is one of ease and flow. Many people are afraid to leave their bag behind. They think that without their worry, they will lose their identity. They think that stress is what makes them successful and what makes them a good person. But this is a great illusion of the ego. You are much more powerful when you are relaxed. A relaxed mind has access to intuition and wisdom that a worried mind can never reach. A relaxed person sees solutions where a worried person only sees problems. When you set the bag down, you are not giving up on your goals. You are simply deciding to walk toward them without the unnecessary burden. You can still want a better life and a healthy body and a happy family. But you no longer need to strangle these desires with the grip of anxiety. You can hold your goals with a light touch like a bird resting in your hand. If the bird wants to fly away, you let it fly because you know you are the sky. If the bird wants to stay, you enjoy its song. This is the secret to an unshakable life. It is the realization that your happiness does not depend on the contents of your bag. It depends on your willingness to be empty. Empty your mind of the past and the future. Empty your heart of the fear and the lack. When you are empty, the universe can finally fill you with its abundance. A full cup cannot receive any more water. An empty cup can receive the entire ocean. Be like the empty cup. Be like the traveler who has finally learned to walk with nothing but the present moment. The path ahead is beautiful and the sun is shining and you are finally light enough to run. Stay in this feeling of weightlessness. It is your natural birthright. Now that we have explored the philosophy of letting go, we must talk about how to live it. The wisdom of the Buddha is not meant to stay in the clouds of theory. It is meant to be practiced in the middle of your busy and messy daily life. You might ask how I can stop worrying when my boss is angry or when my bills are late. The answer lies in 3 simple pillars of practice that you can start right now. The first pillar is the practice of observing before you react. Most people live their lives in a state of constant reflex. Something happens and you instantly feel a spark of fear or anger. Before you can even think, the spark becomes a fire that consumes your mind. This is because you are identified with your emotions. You think that you are the anger, or you think that you are the worry. But from this moment on, I want you to create a sacred gap between the event and your response. When a stressful thought enters your mind, do not try to fight it or push it away. Simply look at it as if you are watching a movie. Say to yourself in your mind, I am noticing a thought of worry. By using these specific words, you create a distance between your true self and the mental noise. You become the witness rather than the victim. You will quickly realize that most of your worries are just old movies playing on a loop. They are ghosts of the past or shadows of a future that has not arrived. When you observe them, they lose their power over you because they need your attention to survive. The second pillar is the practice of conscious breathing as a biological reset. Your mind and your body are connected in a never-ending loop. When your mind is worried, your body becomes tense and your breath becomes shallow. This shallow breath tells your brain that you are in a life-threatening emergency. It keeps the cycle of anxiety moving faster and faster, but you have the power to break this loop at any time. Even in the middle of a difficult conversation or a traffic jam, you can choose to breathe. Slow your inhale to 4 seconds and stretch your exhale to 8 seconds. This simple act is a biological hack for your nervous system. It forces your body to exit the fight or flight mode and enter the state of rest and digest. You're sending a message to every cell in your body that says, I am safe. When your body feels safe, your mind can finally think clearly again. You will find that solutions to your problems appear naturally when you are calm. An agitated mind is like a broken compass that spins in circles. A calm mind is a clear mirror that shows you exactly which way to turn. The third pillar is the most important for those who want to achieve great things. It is the practice of doing your part and only your part. Many people think that letting go means being passive or lazy. This is a very common mistake. In the Buddhist path, we act with full intensity and full presence. If you are writing a report or cleaning your house or talking to a friend, do it with 100% of your heart. Be totally present in the action itself. But once the action is finished, you must perform the final step of releasing the outcome. You plant the seed with care and then you walk away. You do not stand over the soil and scream at the seed to grow faster. You do not blame the seed if it takes its time. You understand that the growth is the job of the sun and the earth and the rain. This is called action without attachment. When you live this way, the pressure of performance disappears. You are no longer afraid of failure because you are no longer defined by the result. You find joy in the work itself rather than the reward. And ironically, because you are so relaxed and focused, your work becomes much better. You become more creative and more efficient and more magnetic to success. The universe loves to work with people who are not blocking the flow with their desperation. Try this for just one day. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Breathe deeply whenever you feel a pinch of stress. Do your best in every task and then trust the universe with the result. You will be amazed at how quickly your life begins to change. The friction that once made everything feel difficult will begin to melt away. You will feel as if you are being carried by a gentle current toward your destiny. You will realize that you never needed to fight so hard. You only needed to be present and to allow life to move through you. This is the true meaning of everything falling into place. It is not that the world changes, but that you have changed. And when you change, the world has no choice but to follow. Stay in this flow and trust your own path. Now we reach the final destination of our journey together. We must talk about what happens when you truly master the art of letting go. When you stop worrying, you do not become a person who does not care. You become a person who is unshakable. You are like the deep ocean. On the surface, there may be storms, and there may be white waves, and there may be wind. But deep down in the heart of the ocean, everything is silent and still and powerful. Nothing that happens on the surface can change the peace of the depths. This is the state of the master. When you reach this level of awareness, your perception of life changes completely. Problems are no longer obstacles that stop your progress. They become part of the path itself. You realize that every difficulty was actually a lesson designed to make you stronger. Delays are no longer sources of frustration. They become a sacred space for you to rest and prepare for the next step. Surprises are no longer threats to your security. They become beautiful gifts from a universe that loves to surprise you. Your energy becomes soft and your heart becomes open. Because you are no longer projecting fear and tension, people are naturally drawn to you. They feel your peace and they want to be near it. This is why leaders and healers and creators are often the most relaxed people in the room. They are not trying to prove anything and they are not trying to control anyone. They are simply being their true selves. As you continue to live in this state of allowing, you will notice that synchronicities begin to explode. The right person sends you a message at the exact moment you need it. The right door opens just as you are ready to walk through it. You move forward without waiting for the perfect conditions, because you know you are the condition. You trust your path even when you cannot see the end of the road. And when you trust yourself, the universe trusts you back. It begins to support you in ways you never thought possible. Final words for you to carry in your heart as you go back to your day. Life has never stopped working for you. It was only your worried mind that stood in the way of the light. Every time you chose to force a result, you blocked a natural path. Every time you tried to control everything, you prevented the universe from doing its part. But starting today, everything changes. Not because the world is different, but because you have stopped suffocating your own destiny. You are freer and you are clearer and you are more aligned. An aligned being does not have to fight life. Life aligns itself around them. If this message has touched your soul, And if your heart feels even a little bit lighter, take one small action right now. Close your eyes for 3 seconds and feel the truth of your own existence. You are a miracle and you are a child of the universe. Everything you are seeking is already on its way to you. In fact, it has been searching for you just as much as you have been searching for it. All you had to do was stop running and stand still long enough for it to find you. Keep walking gently and keep walking wisely and keep walking with trust. The backpack of stones is gone. Your hands are open. The sky is clear. Thank you for listening and thank you for being who you are. Your journey has just begun.